Welcome to my build review of the Dassault Rafale M from REVELL in the scale 1 to 72. As always, some short history about my choice of this model. I always thought about the Rafale as the ugly twin of the Eurofighter Typhoon until I saw the Rafale live at an air show in 2016. I was not only impressed by the performance of both the jet and pilot, but also by the beauty of the Rafale. Of course it has some similarities to the Eurofighter, but all in all I like the Rafale more, because it just has more curves and appears more elegant to me than the Eurofighter. If you want to see the full video of the Rafale as well as other videos from the Air Power Air Show in Austria, just check out my channel. I chose this version of the model mostly because I want to stick to the 1 to 72 scale and because of the remarkable decals. I don't speak French, but if I understood correctly, they painted this Rafale to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Rafale itself and the anniversary of the 11th Squadron. There are also decals for the 12th Squadron in the box, but they look rather boring. This model consists of 72 parts, comes in difficulty 3 out of 5, and I got it from Amazon. If you want to build the same model, just check the affiliate links in the description of this video. Now finally to the building process. If you've seen my previous videos about the Eurofighter and FA-18, you might know that I'm currently in some kind of re-entry to building models after approximately 10 years. I'm still learning from tutorials and I also got a few tips in the comments. So in order to improve my work, I bought some white spirit to thin the enamel paint and a larger flat brush, as somebody told me in the comments. I have to admit that I never thinned the paint before, but that tip was very useful, as you will see later. I also made a lot of use of the masking tape again, as you can see here. The weird thing with the Rafale is that there are no decals for the cockpit, so I used some acrylic paint and a needle to add some detail to the instruments. Furthermore, I wanted to place a pilot in the cockpit. This pilot does not come with the Rafale. I took it from the Su-27 flanker that I still have to build, because that model comes with 2 pilots. However, after painting the pilots, I had some problems fitting the ejection seat in between those 2 parts. As you can see, the pilot was way too close to the head-up display, so I had to use a rasp to remove some material so the seat would fit in there. I glued the fuselage together, fixed it with clothespins and waited for a day or so until I continued with the nose and intakes. Then I mixed the white spirit with a darker grey and painted the model with 4 or 5 thin layers. While the paint was drying, I already painted the wheels and other parts. And again, the masking tape did a great job and helped me a lot. Unfortunately, an issue appeared when I tried to paint the stabilizer with this blue color. I tried to mix it with black enamel paint, but at this point I did not know that those smaller cans contain acrylic paint, and of course you can't mix acrylic paint with enamel. So I only painted the stabilizer in black and continued with the decals. I don't really care, because on some pictures the stabilizer even looks black to me, so it's not a huge difference. Even though the Rafale comes with some of the smallest decals I've ever seen, I did not have any serious issues, thanks to Microsol. But they are not only tiny, but also numerous. I counted about 25 decals on one of the fuel tanks alone. The decals took a lot of time, but look really nice. When I was done with them, I added some more details and mounted the landing gear. I totally dig the look of the reinforced landing gear of the marine version of the Rafale, even though it was a pain in the ass to get it done. After finally finishing the landing gear, I mounted the fuel tanks and 4 Mika air-to-air missiles. You have to drill a few small holes for the armament and the refueling probe. I simply used a hot needle for that purpose and it worked great. This time I tried to highlight the panel lines with a pencil and a fine pigment liner. After that, I finally seated the pilot in the cockpit. That guy consists of 3 parts and I had to remove a bit of his butt to fit him in there nicely. I wasn't sure if I should open or close the canopy, but because of the missing decals for the instruments and the pilot blocking the view on the instruments anyways, I decided to close it. So here it is, the Dassault Rafale from REVELL. Even though I'm very satisfied with the outcome, I could still use some tips from you guys. Let me know what you think about my progress and use the links in the description if you want to build it yourself. My next model will be the MiG-29 from Italy, of course in the scale 1:72, because it's just nice to have the jets in the same scale and compare them. It would be awesome if you leave me some feedback and hit that like button. So thanks for watching and bye.